The only game where the loser will not be eliminated on this Saturday. It is the two teams that have so far gone undefeated in the NACC tournament. It's the third-seeded Eagles of Benedictine University and the number 1 seed, Concordia University, Wisconsin Falcons. Our broadcast today is presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland, by Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus, and by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Game days are better with Cane's. Sean Fry with you. Bryce Suiters, our technical director. CUW with a no-hit shutout of MSOE in their first and only game of the tournament. Emma Shellstrom tossing the third no-no in the history of the NACC tournament. And that pitched the Falcons into this game, where they will take on Benedictine, who, after defeating Lakeland with a 7-run rally in the 6th inning on Thursday to win 7-2, knocked off second-seeded Dominican yesterday with a 5-2 win. They took the lead for good on a Taylor Oppenheis RBI single in the bottom of the third, or rather in the top of the third more accurately, and then Haley Barnes hit a no-doubt line drive screaming home run. Also added the double, drove in 2 on the day, and that was enough for Mackenzie Johnson. So CUW comes in at 29-10. Benedictine is 29-13. And it should be a fun one here in our second game of the day and game 4 of the double elimination portion of the 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Softball Tournament. Let's meet our lineups as they are about to be exchanged at home plate. We'll start with the lineup that Kate Heidkamp has for the third-seeded Benedictine Eagles. Morgan Bruno leads off. She'll do the catching. Brianna Deutscher is the shortstop, batting second. Haley Barnes is at third base, batting third. And Victoria Dazinski will be the designated player today. She'll be in the cleanup spot, followed by the left fielder Jasmine Lozano hitting fifth. 6, 7, and 8 are the right fielder Jenna Bartkey, first baseman Taylor Oppenheis, and center fielder Lauren Bogard. Mackenzie Johnson rounds out the batting order. She is the pitcher. We'll put a pin in that. Lauren Olson plays second base. She'll be the flex player, so she'll be in the field, but will not bat. Bruno, Deutscher, Barnes, Dazinski, Lozano, Bartkey, Oppenheis, Bogard, and Johnson the batting order, and Olson the flex player for Benedictine. Mackenzie Johnson is the starting pitcher. It'll be her 20th start. 17-5 is her record with a 1.99 ERA and 143 strikeouts in 130 innings. Megan Aliverdi will draw up this lineup for Concordia University, Wisconsin. And it'll be Jess Pozazinski, the shortstop, in the leadoff spot. She'll be followed by the center fielder, Jenna Shadusky. And the catcher, Megan Bloyer, will hit third. The pitcher, Jasmine Fries, is in the cleanup spot. More on that in a moment. Riley Duvall playing third and batting fifth. Caitlin Way's the first baseman. She'll be in the sixth spot. In the 7 hole, it's the designated player, Maggie Plommer, who's making her first appearance in the NACC tournament. Jenna Lishka will be in left field, batting 8th. Nora Stotts is in right field, batting 9th. And then Adriana Martinez is the flex player, and like with Benedictine, she'll play second base, but will not bat. Pozazinski, Shadusky, Bloyer, Fries, Duvall, Way, Plommer, Lishka, and Stotts the batting order. Martinez the flex player for CUW. Jasmine Fries to the circle. The senior right-hander has pitched 57 1/3 innings over her 18 appearances. This will be her 14th start. She has 39 strikeouts, a 3.42 ERA on the season. Home plate umpire for our second game today is Scott Stempel. The first baseman is Mark Ginsky, and Michael Naranjo will be at third. And that's how we line up. Benedictine and Concordia, Wisconsin. Winner moves on to play tomorrow. And we'll have 2 chances to win the NACC tournament. The loser will play again at 4 o'clock to save their season. This is the 2025 NACC tournament. Lineups have been introduced here to the fans at Bedrosian Stadium at Spartan Athletic Park, just outside of the Aurora University campus. A moment of confusion. We only do the national anthem before the first game of the day. Everyone was ready to go. They're all standing on the lines. You get into a routine, and sometimes it's hard to break some of those habits. They'll be ready to go. We've lost 9 degrees from first pitch of the tournament today. 66 now and sunny, and that lake breeze is really gusting up north of 15 miles per hour and coming out of center field. So that should help the pitchers at least keep the ball in the yard. Jasmine Freeze into the circle, the senior from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Throwing to the catcher, Megan Bloyer, and here is the rest of the Falcons' defensive alignment. Caitlin Ways over at first base. Second baseman is Adriana Martinez. At shortstop is Jess Pozazinski, and third baseman is Riley Duvall. Left fielder's Jenna Lishka. It's Jenna Shadusky playing center field. Nora Stotts is in right. Well, the first hit Concordia, Wisconsin allows will be the first one of the tournament after Emma Shellstrom's brilliant performance yesterday against MSOE. The Raiders were the most recent team eliminated. Just 3 left, and they are the top 3 seeds in this year's tournament. The throw is down to second, and we will play ball. Morgan Bruno, Eagles catcher, 2 of 8 for the tournament. 1 of 4 yesterday. She's now reached in 26 straight. Brings a .394 average with 9 doubles and 25 RBIs into play this afternoon. .129, time of first pitch, and it's a strike from Freeze into Bruno. Freeze was terrific down the stretch, a 1.75 ERA and for her final 5 starts. Didn't get out of the 5th a ton, only twice in that stretch, but still a lot of good work. Pitched that effectively, and she gets a swing and a miss from Bruno on the second pitch of the game. Freeze taking her time out there in the circle, now comes to the rubber, and here's the 0-2 pitch. That's well outside. Concordia, Wisconsin in an all-blue uniform today. The jersey is pinstriped with white letters and numbers and Falcons in script. The pants are blue, the socks are blue. Benedictine wearing an all-white uniform, well, at least mostly white. It's a slow roller out to short. Pozazinski will need to be quick. It was deep in the hole, and the throw is in time. Benedictine with black numbers and letters outlined in red. Benedictine in script on the front. The shoulders are black. And the socks are stirrups and also black with red and white stripes. Here is Brianna Deutscher. .357 average, 9 doubles, a home run, and 25 driven in on the season. She looks at a first pitch strike from Freeze. Deutscher 0 for 8 for the tournament so far. Looking for her first hit. First of back-to-back righties at the top of the Eagles' order. Freeze misses down and in. The count is 1-1. There's already activity in the Concordia, Wisconsin bullpen, but I don't think they're likely to be making a change this early. It's Kylie Strupp warming up. 1-1. Fouled off by Deutscher. CUW has not been shy about going to the bullpen when needed. The second batter of the game when you just got an out. Megan Aliverti's not going to the pen this soon. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off the handle. Every pitcher has their own routine of when they like to throw if they expect they might get into a game, and so they get loose. Gives you a chance to work on things before you really get warmed up later. Wind kicking up here as the 1-2 flies, and it's well outside. Now, it's not Thursday. Thursday was really something here at Bedrosian. The Fox River Valley blasting wind. This is not that, but it is a rather stiff breeze out there. Freeze comes in and hits Deutscher. Well, you'd prefer not to be hit by the pitch, but you do get the base if you are troubled. So here you go. She goes to first for a player who's having a terrific tournament. Haley Barnes, 4 of 7 through 2 games so far, now hitting an even 400 on the year. Her 14 doubles, 9 homers, and 40 RBIs all lead the Eagles. Those 40 RBIs are second only to a player standing right next to her, Megan Bloyer, behind the Falcons' plate. Barnes takes strike 1. And then a pitch that was elevated. Didn't find the zone. 1-1. Barnes hit one of the fastest home runs I've ever seen yesterday. A line drive to left. That might be the only way you're getting one out of the yard with this kind of a wind. To drive it low and right through it. Foul ball, and Barnes falls behind 1-2. One on, one out, top of the first. And Freeze leans in and now deals the 1-2, which Barnes shoots into the parking lot. Foul ball, and the count remains fixed. Double play would need to be quick. There's a lot of space up the middle of the infield. Center fielder actually playing rather shallow given the wind. 1-2 pitch. Here's a liner in the left center field, and deep it carries and will bounce off the wall. Deutscher's around second and third. The Eagles score in the first. Haley Barnes continues to mash at the NACC tournament. And not only do the Eagles plate the game's first run, Victoria Dazinski will bat with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Haley Barnes might be approaching just Walker territory in this tournament right now. There does not appear to be any reason to pitch to her at this point. Victoria Dazinski's been a tough out as well. She went 3 for 3 against Dominican yesterday and brings a 403 mark that leads the team into play today. She'll take ball 1 from Freeze. 11 doubles, a home run, and 31 driven in for the junior out of Norridge, Illinois. Batting from the left side, the first of 2 in the Eagles lineup who will bat there. 1-0 is too low. Freeze needing to settle in now. 2-0 pitch, and a chopper to second. Martinez will look that into the glove on a couple of bounces and then throws out Dazinski for the second out. Barnes advances and is now 60 feet away from scoring as she ties her shoe with a knee on third base. I'll call time and give her a moment. That'll give Jasmine Lozano a moment to think about her approach. Hitless for the tournament, but did put down a couple of sacrifices yesterday. Her first hit would actually be her first in the NACC tournament. First pitch is fouled off. 282 her mark. 3 doubles, 14 driven in. Of course, Lozano, and I say she's looking for her first hit in the tournament, I mean for her career. It's the freshman of the year 2 seasons ago. What was a rather abbreviated trip to the tournament for Benedictine that year. Freeze to the breaking ball, and it hangs up. And the count will even at 1-1. A run already in the top of the first. A hit batter was doubled home from a first, 1 batter later. Freeze with a good pitch, and Lozano takes it at the knees. A 1-2 count. The junior from Chicago looks out from the right side. Freeze into her motion, and the 1-2 pitch is rolled up the middle, stabbed at and knocked down by Freeze, who then gets up, throws out Lozano, and ends the inning. But the Eagles get to play from in front. A run on the Haley Barnes double. They leave one in scoring position, and for that matter on third base. One for Benedictine, Concordia, Wisconsin, coming to bat. No, because we were just kind of along for the ride up here while everyone got moved around, but you guys handled it pretty well. Concordia, Wisconsin gets the bats out for the first time today, and I can't see the plate because of somebody standing in front of me, and their head is directly over the plate. So your guess is as good as mine where exactly the plate is. Now the fan has decided to help me out. Jess Pozazinski's at the plate, took a ball and then a strike. 440, 16 doubles, 3 triples, 11 homers, 35 RBIs. Everything but the RBIs lead the team. She's actually quite distant behind Megan Bloyer for the team and conference RBI lead. She gets ahead of Mackenzie Johnson, 2-1. The junior right-hander right back to work. Pozazinski lines it into the left field corner, but it just hooks foul. Off the bat, looked like extra bases. A little too much spin on it. And the dangerous senior from Lake Villa, Illinois, Grayslake North High School graduate. All-American last year, former conference freshman of the year. A bounce to the plate. Count is full to Pozazinski. I kind of went through all the superlatives yesterday with Pozazinski and how she might very well be greatest player, at least position player in Falcons history. Here is a high drive, deep to left, forget about it. No doubt, leadoff home run for Jess Pozazinski. Just like that, we are tied. On a less windy day, I am frightened to think about where that would have landed. 12th of the season, which extends her conference leading mark. It extends her hit streak to 8 games. It is the 46th home run of her career, which makes her far and away the Falcons' all-time leader in homers. And she strikes again to put the Falcons on the board. And now Jenna Shadusky bats with the bases empty and looks at a strike just under the letters. 417, 3 triples, 7 doubles, a home run, and 24 RBIs for Shadusky, who went 1 for 4 yesterday. A flash of bunt and then takes it back, takes ball 1 as the riser was rising and rising right on out of the strike zone into the glove of Bruno. It's an 0-1 count. Make that a 1-1 count, actually, and now a foul ball. Johnson steps back in. And the pitch. Off the handle and rolled up the third baseline. Barnes had to be quick, got the throw off, and it's in time. So a good recovery for Johnson to get weak contact after, well, whatever the complete opposite of weak contact is on the Jess Pozazinski home run. All of the contact, the most contact. There's Megan Bloyer to the plate. Leads the league with 42 RBIs, 7 homers, and is tied with Pozazinski with 16 doubles, which is just off the conference lead. Johnson starts her off with strike 1. Bloyer hitting .409 after going 2 for 4 with a double yesterday. In fact, with a couple of doubles against MSOE. Another ground ball, third base side, and it just trickles foul. Third base umpire Michael Naranjo was very calm as that tumbled his way. And just stepped out of the way. 0-2 count to Bloyer. And the pitch. Liner up the middle. It's a 1-out single for Bloyer, who continues to hit the ball well in this NACC tournament. Oh, why limit it to that? Now hit in 15 straight. Had streaks of 7 straight with an RBI twice earlier this season. Had a 13-game hit streak through March and April. And now Jasmine Freeze with 1 on and 1 out. She'll take strike 1 at the knees. Well, if Concordia, Wisconsin is going to hit the ball like this, it's difficult to see how they're going to be beat. Mackenzie Johnson's task is to find a way to cool off the highest scoring offense in the league, north of 7 runs per game. They led the league in the entire slash line. They were in the top 15 in on-base percentage, which, by the way, was .407 coming in. The swing and a miss as Freeze falls behind 1 and 2. 87 doubles are in the top 15 in the nation. Now 30 home runs are in the top 20 in the country. 1-2, rolled off the end of the bat and through. Perfectly placed by Freeze. Back-to-back singles. Will bring Riley Duvall to the plate. Duvall yesterday went 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Is hitting .372 at the start of play today with a homer and 21 driven in. And Kate Heidkamp wants to discuss with her infield. All this while Morgan Magnabosco warms up in the bullpen for Benedictine. A rather short discussion, and the Eagles will go back to trying to attack these CUW hitters. Little success through the first 4 batters, a home run and a couple of singles with just 1 out so far. Now we're starting to see a few sweatshirts and jackets pop out in the stands. Folks have had enough. That lake breeze is too much. Duvall steps in the middle of this all right-handed batting Falcons lineup. Johnson misses with a high fastball, and Duvall will creep ahead. Now 4 for 8 for her career in the NACC tournament. Got a lot. The 1-0 pitch, roasted it foul up the third baseline. We'll get that ball back in play. A lot of activity here in this first inning so far. There's a breaking ball that caught the outside corner. A really good pitch by Johnson. And the count's 1-2. Riser's driven in the left. Bounces in front of Lozano. Bloyer, who had been pinch run for a moment earlier by Kiana Marie Takad, stops at third. Hey, before that, 21 ran for 6. She was on second and is now on third. And that loads the bases for Caitlin Way. And things have gone from bad to slightly worse with the infield in. Here's a fly ball. It is deep to center. It will stay in the yard. Bogard makes the catch. That's plenty deep enough to score Takad. CUW takes the lead with the sacrifice fly. Freeze tagged and advanced to third. So it's runners on the corners for Plummer, who was a home run and 12 RBIs on the season. She'll offer at the first pitch and foul it back off of one of the posts holding up the net. 0-1. Runner was going. Plummer fouled it off. Got off to a rough start, 1 for 16. Since then, she's hit .321 and homered for the first time in her career in the regular season finale against Concordia, Chicago. There's power all over this lineup. 0-2 pitch. That's launched foul and out of play. Benedictine, I mentioned, has won 14 in a row. Concordia, Wisconsin on nearly as much of a tear. There's a breaking ball. Runner goes again. They'll throw down, and now it's a run down. And Duvall was hit with the ball. She gets into second, and it'll be a successful double steal after all that. That also scores Freeze. A 2-2 count. Make that a 1-2 count. Now it's a 2-2 count. And Plummer takes outside. 3-1 the score. CUW in front. And the threat not over. Plummer spoils another pitch. And it stays 2-2. Falcons an incredible 18-2 when they score in the first inning. And off to a good start in this one as Plummer fouls off another. 8th pitch of the plate appearance coming up. I was saying with CUW closed the season on an 11-1 stretch. And just in general have played very good softball throughout the campaign. Johnson pulls the string and gets Plummer to swing and miss. Will end the inning. 3 runs in for Concordia, Wisconsin on 4 hits. They leave 1. A 22-minute first inning and a 3-1 Falcons lead. it's an error. I don't think you can have both, so it would just be an E6 and the runner scores. Yeah, it can't be a stolen base and an E6. Well, if there was a stolen base, it would be Freeze scoring. But if there was an error there, well, actually, would she have scored anyway? Yeah, she would have scored it. I give Freeze the stolen base, give the E6 on the throw to advance Duvall. I think that's what I would do. Jenna Bartkey is at the plate for Benedictine and takes ball one from Jasmine Freeze, then swinging at the second pitch and a high fly ball that Jenna Shadusky will take care of for the first out of the second. Concordia, Wisconsin is up by a 3-1 margin. Upon review, the double steal, so to speak, will be an error on the throw that allowed Duvall to take second base. That should take the stolen bases off the board. Taylor Openhies takes ball one. Yeah, if you're going to give an error there, now that I think about it, you can't give a stolen base. We can't assume that she would have made it. Yeah, so there can't be a stolen base at all. It would just be an E6 and the runner scores. I think. Yeah, but Freeze scored. So initially we were going to put a double steal. But because it would have been, but if we're going to give an error, then there's no steal at all. So E6 runner scores. That ball strike or strike ball after? Okay. Taylor Openhies. Couple of misses and then a taken strike. She lines the 2-1 in the center field. Once again, Shadusky is there. And it is 2 up and 2 down. Lauren Bogard now to the plate, has been swinging a good bat here in the conference tournament. Now has her average up to 314 after going to this point 3 for 6 in the tournament. First pitch is fouled off. Freeze trying to get through the order. In order here. Fouled off again. Oh, 0-2 pitch is off the mark, and Bogard will get another pitch. (3-1). Concordia, Wisconsin in front. Bogard up with 2 outs and nobody on. She scoots out of the way of an inside pitch. It's 2-2. Two on the way. Bogard gives a rip at that. Sends it careening into the netting, and we'll try the 2-2 once again. And we'll try it one more time. That's off the plate outside, and the count is full. Second and final lefty in the Benedictine order. An alum of Lincoln Way East High School in the south suburbs. Trying to find a way on with 2 outs. Freeze into her motion, and the pitch is chopped over and past the dive of Martinez in the right field. Bogard has now hit in 6 straight, the 2-out single. And Mackenzie Johnson, after giving up 3 in the bottom of the first, gets to bat as the tying run. I think normally I might think, well, it's a little early to start talking about the tying run, but not with these offenses. Might have a lot of options to get level or beyond in this game between these two. Shot in the right field. Johnson singles, and the lineup will turn over. Back-to-back base knocks with 2 outs for the Birds, or at least the visiting Birds as on the scoreboard. Morgan Bruno at the top of the order. Digs in. Suddenly Benedictine is threatening. Freeze trying to put Benedictine on ice. Misses inside. One 1-0 pitch. Freeze finds the zone. Senior right-hander back into her motion and working the inner half of the plate. Bruno takes strike 2. Falcons a strike away from getting out of trouble in the second. Here's the pitch. Waited on and looped in the left. Around third and now running after a brief hesitation was Bogard, and she's thrown out at the plate. That moment of hesitation might have been the difference, but she is thrown out after Bruno singled in the left. Benedictine will leave 2 on 3 hits, but they don't score. And it's 7-5-2, the inning-ending putout. Keep Concordia, Wisconsin in front through 1.5, 3-1. Jenna Lischko will lead off the proceedings for Concordia, Wisconsin in the bottom of the second after they escape allowing a run with a little help from the defense. Lischko hitting .330 with a homer, 14 driven in on the season, and she'll take the first 2 out of the zone from Mackenzie Johnson. 3 runs, 2 earned in the first on 4 hits for the Falcons, and the Jess Pozazinski home run. Started what turned out to be a big inning and was the 15th home run allowed by the Benedictine coaching staff. Kate Heidkamp did not allow a lot of home runs in her career. Let's get that clear. By the pitching staff this season. Back-to-back foul balls from Lischka, and Johnson has gotten level in the count 2-2. In any case, that ties Dominican now for the most allowed by any team in the tournament. 2-2. Way upstairs. And a full count for the first batter of the home second. Johnson shakes the right arm as she looks in. Now the pitch, down and in. Leadoff walk. Sophomore from Manitowoc, Wisconsin is on base with a 6-pitch walk, and Nora Stotts will come to the plate. Saw her hit a sacrifice fly yesterday. We'll see if she's thinking sacrifice bunt here. She doesn't have one on the season for a team that doesn't spend a lot of time doing that. A look at strike one from Johnson. Why sacrifice when you can just find gaps? Seems to be a decent strategy. Here's a deep fly ball to left, but it is going to be foul and just out of the reach. Lozano, who I think to the surprise of a lot of folks, managed to cover the ground to get there. If you ask her, she'd probably tell you she should have made that catch. That's just a long strike. It's 0-2. Stotts takes a look at a pitch outside. Johnson put it right on Morgan Bruno's location. Was looking to get Stotts to expand the zone. She would not, and the count runs to a ball and 2 strikes. Johnson back into her motion. Stotts with a liner to the left again. Lozano has to retreat. And this time makes the catch. 1 down. Back to the top, and Jess Pozazinski. First home run of the NACC tournament. Believe it or not, for her ever. Seems a little bit shocking. Appeared very much to have been launched from a cannon positioned at home plate over the left field fence. She'll have a 1-0 pitch to work with here. Johnson misses up again. A 2-0 count, not great against Jess Pozazinski. Now 3-0. You don't really get any breaks against this Falcons lineup. You're really just trying to dance around where you might be able to avoid the maximum of damage they can do. Obviously handling Pozazinski very carefully. 3-1 pitch. Johnson attacks this time, and the senior fouls it off. Pozazinski with a white batting helmet with what appears to be plenty of stickers all over the back. Fly ball on 3-2, drifting and into the wind, got it nearly to the warning track where Bogard was able to run it down. She makes the catch, and Lischka, the heads-up base running, tags and takes second on the fly ball, which will give Jenna Shadusky a chance to bat here with a runner in scoring position. Eagles sorely needing to put a 0 on the board here. Johnson goes right at Shadusky. Fires in strike one. 0-1. Fly ball to center. This should get Benedictine out of the inning. Bogard has it. And it is indeed a scoreless bottom of the second. No hits, 1 left. Off to the third. Benedictine trails Concordia, Wisconsin, 3-1. Top of the third inning in what has been a traffic-filled second game of Saturday in the NACC tournament. Brianna Deutscher will stare at ball one as Jasmine Freeze has navigated through a couple of innings, allowing just an earned run. She tries to climb the zone and isn't able to find it and falls behind Deutscher 2-0. She was hit by a pitch and scored. What right now is Benedictine's only run. 2-0 on the way. She attacks it and drives it into the CUW bullpen. Foul ball. Count 2-1. Haley Barnes and Victoria Dazinski do up this inning for BU. 2-1 pitch in the dirt. It's 3-1. Hitters count for Deutscher. Leading off the top of the third. A line drive deep to left. That one left the yard, but it was foul. Payoff pitch coming to Deutscher. Freeze looking for the first out. Misses high. The breaking ball that didn't break. Haley Barnes, RBI double in the first. Back to the plate in the third. First pitch, a good one from Freeze, who fires it in over the outside corner. If there is one player in the BU lineup you do not want to make a mistake to, it's hers. A check swinging bunt by Barnes that trickles foul. She hit one about 230 feet yesterday. One went about 23 feet at best. It's 0-2. Freeze misses outside with a breaking ball. Now over on first, Deutscher, one of several in this BU lineup who can absolutely fly. You don't steal 107 bases on the season if you're not able to get on the move. She has, on the season, 17 stolen bases. Barnes fouls off the 1-2. Do you think about sending her? On the other side, 37%. That's the percentage of would-be base stealers that Concordia, Wisconsin has thrown out this season. Slow roller to the left side. Duvall scoops it up. Had no play at second, so she'll get Barnes at first. A productive out. And it'll bring Victoria Dazinski to the plate with Deutscher in scoring position. A lefty in the BU lineup set to dig in. Once again, worth mentioning, she would be the tying run. Freeze looks for the outside corner and just missed it. Oh, hacked at. That ends up in the screen behind home plate. Ball and a strike as the wind is becoming increasingly active here at Bedrosian. It is blasting in from right center field right now. 1-1 count to Dazinski, and rolls it off the hands out to second. Martinez has it. Once again, it advances the runner as Deutscher glides into third. Dazinski is out, and Lozano will bat, looking to bring Benedictine a run closer. Eagles are 1 of 4 with a runner in scoring position today. The Dominican Stars are slowly emerging into the stands, watching this one to find out who they will play at 4 o'clock. Or whenever, because let's be honest, this game is crawling by right now. About 45 minutes. We're in the top of the third. We're going to be here all day. It's 1-0 to Lozano. It's fouled off the end of the bat and into the right field corner. You know, it's not every game you get 8 hits, not even through 2.5. And also, there's just a lot of time between pitches, so it is not exactly the most brisk in pace at this point. 2-0 pitch in the dirt, and a play at the plate. Deutscher scores on the wild pitch. Bloyer couldn't get it there. (3-2). There's not been a lot of that. That's just the 10th wild pitch by CUW all season. It's rare that Bloyer lets anything get away, and it looked like it just handcuffed her and spun into no man's land in foul territory. It was a very late developing play. Count's actually 2-1, by the way, and Lozano shoots it the other way into right for her first hit of the tournament. The tying run is on base. BU crowd hasn't had a chance to be this loud in a little bit. Jenna Bartkey to the plate. Oh for 1. Came in hitting .352 and is 2 of 6, now 2 of 7 for the tournament. And Freeze with a pitcher's pitch to start off Bartkey as she works it over the outside corner. Lozano gets into a stance as the 0-1 flies and the pitch is well outside. How aggressive as Kate Heidkamp decide to get. Lozano only has 4 stolen bases on the season, so she would not seem to be a threat to run with 2 outs. But we'll see if she proves me wrong. Here's the 1-1. Off the hands and not out of the reach of the shortstop Pozazinski, who runs it down in shallow left and ends the inning. A run in on the wild pitch. 1 hit, nobody left. Eagles draw closer, but Falcons stay in front. 2.5 in. It's 3-2 CUW. Choosing what uniform they're going to wear. Fun fact. We're into the bottom of the third, where runs have been plentiful so far. It's 3-2, and the heart of the order is due up for Concordia, Wisconsin. Megan Bloyer will start it off. Singled in her spot in the order, came around to score in the 3-run first for CUW. And Mackenzie Johnson appears to be starting things off carefully as she misses twice to Bloyer. 2-0 count. Now, Johnson gets into the zone. It is a 2-1 count. Bloyer came in to the tournament and with the leaders in a number of categories. There's a pop fly drifting and just foul on top of the third base dugout. Mentioned that she led and leads the league in RBIs. She leads the team with 5 sacrifice flies. She's tied for third in the league in homers. Somewhat incredibly, 2 of the 3 people she's behind are her teammates, and she's in the top 5 in doubles and in the top 10 in batting average, and not the leader on her own team in either of those either, which should give you, if you don't know, and by the way, about half of you probably do know because you're CUW fans, but if you don't know, there's a lot of offensive firepower in this lineup, and it's been on display through their 1+ games in the conference tournament. 2-2's a soft liner to short. Deutscher catches it, pumps her fist. 1 away. Deutscher plays the game with fire. Have you noticed that over the handful of BU games so far? Frequently makes a play, goes into a fist pump. It was really something of an emotional leader for the Eagles and keeps everyone fired up. Jasmine Freeze takes ball 1, singled, and came around the score in the first. Johnson will miss twice to her. This is the 4th batter that Johnson has fallen behind 2-0. A couple of outs and a walk. Now it's 3-0 for the second time. Morgan Bruno held that out for home plate umpire Scott Stemple and wasn't able to buy the call and wasn't able to buy one here either. A lot of close ones in that pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk, and it puts Freeze on with 1 out. Riley Duvall will now bat. She was the last of the 3 straight singles in the first, and their final hit of that frame. Somewhat incredibly, she's their most recent hit. But Mackenzie Johnson is going to need to get ahead of batters. She's now fallen behind all 3 this inning. 1-0, runs down and in. This is not the recommended approach. Falling behind 2-0 through this part, or really any part of the CUW order. 3-0 again. Duvall will not be swinging here, and indeed, even she had the green light, was not given very much. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks, and that will get Morgan Bruno out to try to settle down the junior right-hander. And here's Kate Heidkamp. She wants to have a word. As we mentioned, I would suggest that Coach Heidkamp is something of an authority on the position as a 4-time All-American. So she wants to discuss what they're going to do in the infield here, and no doubt some words of encouragement for Johnson. Caitlin Way hit a sacrifice fly in her first plate appearance. She will bat as soon as this conversation concludes. Now, both teams have the I shouldn't say lack of pressure. That's not the right word, but whoever loses this game is not out. We can maybe play a little more freely under the circumstances. The real prize is for the winner, who gets to take the rest of the day off, and they're one win from winning it all and going to the NCAA tournament. So in another way, you could argue there's almost more pressure on this game. First pitch popped up, foul territory. Openheis records an enormous second out. CUW trying to be aggressive, but weak contact, and now Maggie Plummer will bat, trying to salvage the frame for CUW. She struck out to end the first. We'll look to avoid a similar fate here in the third. Time is called. Johnson now gets to work and heaves it by a swinging Plummer. Bottom third of the Benedictine order is due up in the top of the fourth as soon as we get there. 0-1 to Plummer's off the plate outside. Johnson going to the heater twice in this plate appearance. 1-1. Breaking ball this time, and it spins up. 2 balls, 1 strike. Johnson fires in the heater over the inside corner. 2 on, 2 outs, a 2-2 count, the bottom of the third. Johnson, a pitch from getting out of trouble, and punches out Plummer to end the frame. Johnson records her second strikeout. Plummer has both of them, and CUW fails to score in the home third. A couple of walks are left on base. We're through 3. And a tight one between Concordia, Wisconsin and Benedictine. Falcons in front, 3-2. Pitching change for Concordia, Wisconsin. Jasmine Freeze leaves after 3 innings of 2-run ball and yields to the hero of CUW's first game. Fresh off the no-hitter, it's Emma Shellstrom, the sophomore from San Diego. Just her 10th appearance out of the bullpen and 29th overall, a 2.23 ERA, and 67 strikeouts in 119 1/3 innings. The right-hander will face the bottom third of the Benedictine order. Freeze, in addition to the 2 earned runs, scattered 5 hits and a walk and did not strike out a Benedictine batter. Freeze does not pitch enough to be in line for the win. The umpire radioing some changes to us, and so Freeze was the pitcher, and what I would imagine is she will now switch to being the designated player. And so it will get interesting now because there have to be a few other associated changes. So we'll work through all of that as Taylor Openheis attacks the first pitch from Shellstrom. Well, we already know there's a change at second base. where Taylor Jacobson has come in to replace Adriana Martinez. And then we'll sift through the rest of this as the 0-1 is driven in the left, but right at Jenna Lishka, who records the first out. So it's So as promised, Jasmine Fries is the designated player. Maggie Plummer is replaced by Taylor Jacobson. And Plummer had been the designated player in the 7th spot. Jacobson will hit there. Shellstrom goes into the 9th spot. And will pitch and replace Martinez. And what a play by Jenna Lishka on a hooking liner in the foul territory, and Lauren Bogard is retired on a terrific defensive play. Now Mackenzie Johnson, a single already like Bogard before her. So fall behind in the count, 0-1. I think we've got everything now settled with everyone in the places they're supposed to be in. 0-1 runs inside to Johnson, and the count evens at 1-1. Another terrific play in the field. Johnson hits one on a rope that Riley Duvall gets the glove out and takes away. And an unfortunate 1-2-3 inning for the Benedictine Bats in the top of the 4th, as they make some decent contact. End up being robbed of a long strike on a foul ball, and then maybe of a base hit down in the left field corner. It's 3-2 Concordia, Wisconsin at the halfway point of our 4th game of double elimination in the 2025 NACC tournament. Eight 8-9-1 due up for Concordia, Wisconsin. Bottom of the 4th inning set to begin. Mackenzie Johnson will try to retire Lishka this time after walking her in the 2nd inning. First pitch in for strike 1. Lishka trying again to extend a 4-game hit streak. She's now reached in 11 in a row. It's the 0-1. It's on the outside corner, and it's, or more accurately, just off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. CUW a perfect 24-0 when leading through 4 innings, which they will. Slow roller out to short. Tough play, Deutscher, the stretch, and they get Lishka by no more than inches. Needed a good throw, and the full stretch from Openheis at first to record the out. And that will bring Nora Stotts to the plate with the bases empty. And 1 out. Here's a pop-up, and Lauren Olson gets the glove up just on the edge of the infield dirt. Second baseman records the 2nd out. Back to the top of the order. Jess Pozazinski for the third time. Had a couple of fly balls today. One left the yard to lead off the game. The other was secured on the warning track in center. Johnson starts her off with ball one. The wind has shifted to be blowing from directly behind the scoreboard now, so that would seem to imply that anything out to the left side of the field is in play. If you happen to be a power hitter. 2-0, fouled off the handle. Two 2-1 pitch is in the dirt. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Concordia, Wisconsin to this point. 2-5-1 for Benedictine. Eagles have stranded 3. Falcons have left 4 to this point. Pozazinski takes a 2-out walk. Johnson has now issued 4 free passes. And now 10 for the tournament in 17 2/3 innings. Jenna Shadusky's 0 for 2. And Johnson comes up, and Shadusky has to duck. Don't want to miss up there. 1 out. Still high, but on the other side of the plate. Less dangerous side from Jenna Shadusky's perspective, and once again, it's a 2-0 count. Johnson will need to make a pitch, and does, firing in a fastball at the knees. There is just nowhere to hide in facing this CUW lineup. You have to go after somebody. So Shadusky will need to be the one. The count's 2-1. Johnson into her motion and gets Shadusky out in front of a breaking ball, which was crushed and ends up just beyond the CUW bullpen. Down there in the batting cages, Concordia, Wisconsin getting a little bit of pregame work in, and by Concordia, Wisconsin, I actually mean Dominican, of course. They're playing next. 2-2. A looper, and that one hooks foul. It appears to be Kayla Amormino, who bats left-handed, trying to work on her swing from the right side. So perhaps switch hitting is in her future at some point. 2-2. Soft liner just out of the dive of Deutscher in the left field. Inning continues. The bloop 2-out single will bring Megan Bloyer to the plate, the runner in scoring position. Well, and here again, the consequence of falling behind batters 2-0. You know, you can hardly blame someone for trying to be careful with Jess Pozazinski, and certainly Jenna Shadusky has hit the ball well also. But you let both of them reach, and now you have to deal with Megan Bloyer, who pops it up. Crisis averted for Benedictine. Olsen makes the catch. That could have been much, much worse for Benedictine. A 2-out rally is extinguished with 2 left. 1 hit, no runs. To the 5th, where Concordia, Wisconsin hanging on to a 1-run lead. It's 3-2. we'll see her, but I don't think they'll start her. We'll see, though. Third time through the order begins for Benedictine. Morgan Bruno will lead off the top of the fifth. Benedictine trailing Concordia, Wisconsin, 3-2. Bruno takes strike one from Emma Shellstrom, who entered to pitch the fourth and immediately dealt a 1-2-3 inning. It's 8 no-hit innings for the sophomore in the NACC tournament so far. 0-1 pitch comes up and in. As I mentioned, Shellstrom with 3 strikeouts in tossing the third no-hitter ever in the NACC tournament. No walks. Both base runners were on errors. It was, from the pitcher's perspective, perfect. From the statistical perspective, just, using that very loosely, a no-hitter. Back-to-back misses to Bruno. Here's the 2-1. She's out in front, pops it up. Pozazinski backpedals into shallow left and records the first out. Shellstrom is positively locked in right now. And Brianna Deutscher comes to the plate. On twice today without an at-bat. Hit by a pitch and walked and scored both times. First pitch to Deutscher is well outside. There's the 1-0. Deutscher out in front, crushed it, but it's foul. Emma Shellstrom doing something that not even Gina Followell or her current assistant coach Nikki Becker did, and they certainly had their moments with no-hitters and perfect games through their time as they pitched together through the late 2010s and early 2020s. But neither of them tossed a no-no in the NACC tournament. Deutscher gets ahead. It's 2-1 as a breaking ball stayed outside. Here's the 2-1. Deutscher out in front again. Once again barreled it, but it lands foul. Deutscher's all over it. It's a little hard to believe that she's hitless for the tournament. Although, again, she's been on twice today. And she's absolutely covering the softball right now. So far, been unable to straighten it out. And then rolls over the 2-2. It's fielded right on the line by Duvall, and home plate umpire Scott Stempel will call it foul. It appeared to be more of a delayed call than I think it actually was. I think he made the call right away and then walked out when it was not apparent that either the fielder or batter knew. Count stays 2-2. They try it again, and Deutscher spoils it again. Haley Barnes on deck. She is due up. Two-two once more is flipped in the right, and it slices foul on the other side of the field. Eighth pitch of this plate appearance is coming up. That's the longest of the game for Benedictine. 4 straight foul balls, 3 with 2 strikes. Deutscher trying to find a way on. Shellstrom winds, and here is a line drive into left field. The first hit that Shellstrom has allowed in this tournament after 8 1/3 no-hit frames. Well, you knew it wouldn't last forever, but quite a performance. And here's Haley Barnes. An RBI double earlier. She's 1 for 2. And Shellstrom misses with a wide one. Counts 1-0. Shellstrom winds and hits Barnes. Two on with one out for Victoria Dzinski. Are they going to send Barnes back? Umpires are going to discuss here. They're going to send Barnes back. So they discuss, and it appears that the ruling is it did not hit Barnes, but it will be a wild pitch. So Barnes gets the bat after all. Barnes confidently went to first. So she appeared to think that it hit her, and Kate Heidkamp is going to plead her case to Michael Naranjo over at third. So while this is going on, let's first note that Barnes is the go-ahead run and very capable of doing that with one swing. Batting here with one out, and now Deutscher standing on second. 2-0 pitch. That's down and away. So the result of this might end up being the same with a 3-0 count, but all things being equal, would you rather Barnes stand on first or swinging the bat? I think I'd rather have her swinging the bat, to be honest with you. She takes a strike. And I'm saying that from the perspective, I would think, of the Benedictine coaching staff. Certainly the way she's hit the ball in this tournament so far. She'll get a hitter's count here. The 3-1 pitch. It's too low, and, well, we got there anyway. She's on first base, took a few more pitches. Deutscher's on second. Victoria Dzinski will bat. Kate Heidkamp is down and signaling towards first, so it would appear that Barnes is going to be lifted for a runner. And it's Lauren Olson, the second baseman, who, as we've seen a few times, is coming in to run. And stands on first. Dzinski's 0 for 2. After having a very good first 2 days of the tournament. The team leading 403 mark would seem to be overdue. Now she digs in from the left side against Shellstrom. First pitch, too high. 3-2, top of the fifth. CUW in front. Tying run is in scoring position. Go-ahead run is on base. Dzinski at the plate. Takes ball 2. And now Shellstrom, who was literally unhittable, struggling with her command. A little in this outing. The 2-0 is poured in at the knees. Two-one count. Shellstrom gets the sign as she spins the ball. Now goes into her motion. The 2-1's too low. Bloyer scoops that out. The second straight batter, it's a 3-1 count. Shellstrom in danger of walking the bases loaded. Dzinski through the right side, base hit. Deutscher around third and stops. Shellstrom cuts off the throw from right, pump fakes to third, but doesn't. Bases are loaded for Jasmine Lozano. A mound visit briefly for CUW. Lozano just picked up her first hit of the tournament. And barring a twin killing, Benedictine will get 2 cracks to tie the game here in the 5th. An hour and 21 thrilling minutes of softball so far in Game 2. BU and Dominican played for an hour and 52 last night. What was another similarly exciting game. It's going to get us behind a little bit, but when you have a high-quality game like this, you don't mind. Lozano with the bases loaded and 1 out. Will try to tie it up or more. First pitch swinging, fly ball in the right. Stotts comes on, makes the catch. Deutscher tags, throws cut off at the plate. Deutscher is out. The inning is over. Nine, 5-2. Or 9-1-2, actually, upon further review. And an inning-ending double play keeps Concordia, Wisconsin in front. 2 hits, 2 left. Benedictine aggressive, but it does not pay off, and CUW leads through 4.5, 3-2. Jenna Bartkey will lead off in the top of the 6th for Benedictine. Looked like she might get a try in the 5th, but an inning-ending double play on a fly out and then a cutoff and throw home kept Concordia, Wisconsin in the lead. It's 3-2, and Jasmine Freeze in the middle of the order due up for CUW. She's the cleanup batter and has not been retired today. Single and a walk with a run scored in the first inning for Freeze. After fouling off the first pitch, she takes ball 1. We'll see Riley Duvall and Caitlin Way wield the bat this inning for the Falcons, who made a terrific play in the field to keep the lead. Can't really blame Kate Heidkamp. Benedictine has the speed to make that play. Nora Stotts made a good throw. And then Emma Shellstrom made another good throw after the cutoff. It all had to be perfect, and it was. Freeze flies out to center, and the leadoff batter is retired in the home 5th. So here is Duvall, like Freeze, singled in the first and walked in the 3rd. Duvall has not scored today, unlike Freeze. And Johnson back to work and buries a fastball. All 5 of Concordia, Wisconsin's hits have been clustered in the first 5 spots in the order. The last 4 are 0 for 6 with a sac fly and a walk. Also with CUW's only 2 strikeouts. Count is 1-1. Johnson comes in the top of the zone with an off-speed pitch. Strike 2. A 1-2 count to Duvall is in the dirt once more. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson not wasting any time. Back on the rubber and gets a grounder up the middle on 2-2. Deutscher is there. Throw the first is in time. 2 up and 2 down. And now Caitlin Way. Her sacrifice fly gave CUW the lead that they have held on to ever since. She takes ball 1 down and in. I plated the second run. CUW added 1 more on that attempted double steal that resulted in an error. 1-0 is a fly ball in the left center. Bogard running on, makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 5th as CUW goes quietly. 2 innings left in regulation. Concordia, Wisconsin holds the lead. They are 16-1 when leading through 5 innings this season, and they have a 3-2 lead over Benedictine. Six, 7, and 8 will bat top of the 6th for Benedictine. Eagles trail Concordia, Wisconsin by a 3-2 margin. Jenna Bartkey 0 for 2 so far in this one. Emma Shellstrom back to work. First pitch swinging. That's looped foul down the right field line. Taylor Openheis on deck is also 0 for 2, and Lauren Bogard, due up this inning, currently in the hole, is 1 for 2. 0-1. Down and in. Crowd had been downright raucous there as Benedictine was threatening in their half of the 5th and did not score, and now we're waiting for something else to get loud about. There's a pop-up on the right side. Second baseman Jacobson looking for it and finding it. Just 1 away. She'll bring Openheis to the plate. Has hit well for her career in the NACC tournament, despite being hitless today. 7 of 21 with 3 driven in. And now 7 career games. Bats from the right side. First pitch swinging. That's looped in the left. Running on Lishka. 2 down. And that is the Emma Shellstrom that we remember from yesterday. Lauren Bogard will try to start the 2-out rally as she digs in from the left side. Shellstrom winds. And that is off the end of the bat foul. Would be very curious to see who will get the start for any of the 3 possible teams in the 4 o'clock game. Shellstrom winds. There's the 0-1. Bogard's out in front, rolls it up the middle. Backhanded stop. Jacobson, who turns and throws in time. Outstanding defensive play by Taylor Jacobson. Eagles go 1-2-3 in the 6th. Concordia, Wisconsin with the bottom third due up. Will it be their final at-bats of the day? They lead 3-2 over Benedictine in Game 4 of the NACC tournament. Our broadcasts throughout the NACC tournament are presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, by Elite Management Properties, and by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. I was saying that I wondered who would start our upcoming games. Dominican pitched Emma Woodhouse. She threw 65 pitches yesterday and then got the start today through 104. Would she get the ball for game 2 for Dominican? We know they'll be in it. Then some decisions to be made for Benedictine and for Concordia, Wisconsin. Mackenzie Johnson's at 95 pitches. Now, we saw Caitlin Seraphin throw 195 for Aurora in a 15-inning complete game win. So it's not a matter of can they come back. But Taylor Jacobson batting, took a ball and then swung on and missed. She is up for the first time. Entered after the pitching change and has been at second base ever since. She takes ball 2. So for Benedictine, do you go with Mackenzie Johnson or do you hand the ball off either to Jasmine Lozano? Right now is in left field. Soft liner, first base side. Openheis gets the glove out. And Jacobson is retired in her first plate appearance. Do you think about going to one of last season's starting pitchers? Well, hasn't really started a whole lot this season, but Morgan Magna Bosco has been very good in the chances she's gotten. Pop up Jenna Lishko on the first pitch. Openheis again comes down almost all the way to home plate to record the second out. Or do you send Johnson back out there? And then for CUW, if Benedictine rallies. Now, right now, Emma Shellstrom's at 36 pitches. So if it's a efficient 7th, well, A, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have to play again. But she's not able to hold the lead. As I say that, Nora Stotts takes ball 1 inside. Has to pitch deeper into the game. Do you go back to Jasmine Freeze? Do you go elsewhere? Adriana Martinez has started 4 games, but Kylie Strupp, the only other pitcher to have started, and she did it 1 time. So it's not that they're not capable of it. It's just where do you go in an elimination game? And you've had your top 2 already into the game and throwing for a not insignificant amount of innings. Oh, with 2 outs, Nora Stotts works a 4-pitch walk. And it brings Jess Pozazinski to the plate for a chance possibly to break this one open. 3-2 right now, CUW. Pozazinski homered earlier. And I would venture to say it was easy power. It's 1 for 2 with the walk. Johnson goes right at her and throws in strike 1. Now gets back to work on 0-1 and misses too high. Well, my questions are just thinking out loud and into the abyss. We will all find out in due time. 1-1 pitch breaks off the plate outside. First, we have to find out who will be playing Dominican, and then we can determine who will have last at bat. 2-1 is a towering fly ball in the shallow center. Bogart covers a lot of ground, makes the catch. The Falcons are retired in the bottom of the 6th. They leave 1, but they are 3 outs from advancing to the NACC Tournament Championship round tomorrow. Benedictine with 8-9-1 as they try to avoid playing again today. Falcons in front, 3-2. Mackenzie Johnson will try to help herself. She's in line for the loss. Has pitched effectively in a 3-2 ball game, but it is CUW with the lead in the top of the 7th, and Emma Shellstrom, who would be in line for the win, will try to finish it out, close the door, and send the Falcons into tomorrow with 2 tries to win it. She misses to Johnson with ball 1. Second pitch is bounced right back to Shellstrom, and it's a quick first out. Now to deal with the top of the BU lineup one last time. Oh, who else would you want if you're Benedictine trying to rally? Morgan Bruno's 1 for 3. Shellstrom winds and did not get enough on the breaking ball. We know Brianna Deutscher will bat, and she has not been retired today. And then if anyone can get on, Haley Barnes would get a chance. And again, what more could you ask for? Well, you would ask to not be trailing in the 7th inning. We'll get that out of the way. But if you have to be, this would be who you'd want up. Strike 1 to Bruno. The count's 1-1, and Shellstrom right back at it, runs a pitch inside and missed the corner. And the umpires in Concordia blue groan over that call. 2 balls and a strike. Shellstrom gets the sign. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball, Bruno hooks it foul. Bruno's going to keep running. She seems to think it's a fair ball, but it was clearly not. That's not one she's going to be able to sell. Now, she's trying to say it was touched by the third baseman, but doesn't appear that Kate Heidecamp's buying that one either, and she's the head coach. So we'll do the 2-2. But to her credit, Bruno kept on running. She had the courage of her convictions and glided into second base and fights off the 2-2. Maybe she was just trying to speak it into existence, and she'll get another chance to do it here. With 1 out, nobody on. The 2-2 and a close pitch. And who better than a catcher to judge if that was going to be in the zone? She takes it. The count's full. Shellstrom trying to avoid putting the tying run on base. Payoff pitch, and Bruno drives it in the left. It's a 1-out single. Bruno is the league leader in stolen bases. As I've mentioned on a few occasions today, with 31 on the season, having been thrown out only once. So it is strength against a very good catcher in Megan Bloyer. With Brianna Deutscher up, does Bruno go? First, Shellstrom's going to step off. I mean, brings an eerie quiet over the crowd. I get back to it. Bruno goes and then hits the brakes as the pitch was up. Was it taken for a strike? Just got in under the letters, evidently. Bruno didn't like the pitch. I have to think she'll be going here. Here's the 0-1 from Shellstrom. Bruno's off, and it is hit to second. To second for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Bruno is retired on the fielder's choice. And Haley Barnes is the last chance for Benedictine. RBI double in the first, walked in the 5th. And at the plate with the game on the line. First pitch swinging, she was out in front of a breaking ball. Rolls foul. Well, a great game deserves a great finish. Who will win the battle? Will Benedictine force the bottom half? Shellstrom misses outside with another breaking ball. The count evens at 1-1. That's 2 breaking pitches. She tests Barnes with a fastball now. 1-1. Swung on, hit hard to third, knocked down by Duvall. She pops up, throws out Barnes, and the ball game is over. CUW is into the championship round. They hold off Benedictine 3-2. Falcons move to 30-10. They'll be waiting the winner of today's final game at noon tomorrow. Meanwhile, Benedictine will have to shake off the loss because they'll play again in 49 minutes. And they will once again be batting first as the visiting team against number 2 Dominican. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 7 stranded for CUW, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for Benedictine. Emma Shellstrom will get the win with 4 innings out of the bullpen. She'll be 14-4. They were 4 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits and a walk. Mackenzie Johnson takes a tough luck loss, allowing 3 runs in 6 innings and drops to 17-6. There was no save. The Eagles with the loss fall to 29-14. The time of the game was 1 hour and 42 minutes. So we are down to one final game on this Saturday, and it's the 3rd-seeded Benedictine Eagles and 2nd-seeded Dominican Stars. First pitch set for 4 o'clock. How do the Eagles respond after an emotional loss? How do the Stars respond after an emotional win a few hours ago? We will find out who will be left on the final day of the tournament tomorrow coming up. For Bryce Suter, I'm Sean Fry. This has been the 2025 NACC Tournament. Concordia, Wisconsin, the winner of today's middle game over Benedictine, 3-2.